show of the year, and we're talking about Football con Bamban. This is celebrating our anniversary. This is our first year in this channel, and we have finished not only 2022, but we're about to finish today, 2023, and this is an amazing show to start. I do want to give you a little bit of history about what's went on in 2023, what things that we've been covering in this 2023, and what things to be coming for 2024. So you cannot miss this show. Hopefully you have the patience, you're enjoying with your family, be safe. But we're about to start with this show, with Football con Bamban. Let's start right now. Muy bueno, mi gente, aquí nos encontramos nuevamente en otro programa de Fútbol con Bamban.
Dentro del área, golpea Petit, Zidane y gol. Ha marcado Zidane el 1-0 para Francia.
Welcome everybody, and here we go. This is another show of Football con Bamban, and I do want to take some time to actually talk about what has been important about the 2023, what has been going on. I do enjoy a lot about how this program has been going for this year, but this is our first year with this program. So therefore, there's going to be evolution for 2024. There's going to be better things. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to evolve. I'm going to be bringing some people to participate in this program. We're going to have a lot more information. I might cover a little bit more in depth some of the teams that I did not cover at least this year. And people have been asking me and saying, Hector, why have you not been covering these teams? Well, I'll try my best. I usually cover a lot about La Liga, and especially this show was made in English, mostly for all you English-speaking persons that unfortunately you don't get the news from the Spanish media, and you get the bad translation usually from ESPN or some of these channels like Fox and everything, that they just give you whatever they feel like, and they have their own agenda. So I try to be as blunt as possible and as clear as possible to provide you this information, the clearest and the latest information, because you know that some of these channels, unfortunately, they do have the hidden agendas, and they want to go whatever there's more convenience for them. So I do want to give you guys a little bit more, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that have been here with me and been rolling for the entire year. If you've been one of those persons and you subscribe to this channel and you've been here with me, thank you so much, because 7 years down the road, 10 years down the road, we're going to be humongous, and you're going to be saying, I was there from the beginning. But I do want to express my thanks and my gratitude for every single person that has been here. I do want to let you guys know that this next year is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Definitely, I can't wait. So let's talk a little bit about, briefly, I'll give you a summary about what went on in 2023. And one of the things that we're going to talk about, it's about anything that happened extracurricular from the football. And what we're talking about is, we know automatically that the Spanish national team for female football won the championship on the World Cup. This is their first star, and I've been celebrating with the hat right now in honor for them. But one thing overshadowed completely this, and what it was Luis Rubiales. Luis Rubiales came up and just decided to give a kiss to one of the players in the mouth, which he thought it was okay. I don't understand why he would think it would be okay, but he did it. And then it came out to be that it said that it was not in consent, and it was not properly for a president to be able to do such thing. Therefore, it cost him his position. So 2023 started with that right in the summer, right at the bat, after World Cup. This was amazing about everything, the news, how it exploded. This channel covered a lot of that also as well. But besides that, what other big thing happened around the world? Well, we have to talk about the two mega players. We got to talk about Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. What have both of them have done? Because they're still on their late 30s and still overshadowing every these young players. They still make news. They still making millions and millions and millions of euros every year, and both of their brands are out skyrocketing on them. So we want to start a little bit with Lionel Messi, because we know Lionel Messi, after leaving Barcelona for 2 years, he's been playing for Paris Saint-Germain. So this June of 2023 was the last year of his contract with Paris Saint-Germain. We know he ended and he won the championship in France for 2 consecutive years with the Paris Saint-Germain. It's obviously a given. It's a mega team. It's a mega team, but he was not able to provide what Paris Saint-Germain thought. And it's with Paris Saint-Germain, before Lionel Messi was able to make it to the final of the Champions League, and they thought by bringing Neymar and Messi together with Kylian Mbappe, they were going to have a championship team for Champions League. This did not occur. It was not the expected result for them. So Lionel Messi finishes his contract with Paris Saint-Germain. And where did he go? He goes to United States of America. He goes to the MLS. He goes to a team that was actually in the last position in the league of the MLS, which is Inter Miami. And this is something that is very, very shocking because he became a wave in the United States. Not only he was coming from winning with Argentina in 2022, when this show started on the World Cup, he became champions with Argentina, which was the prize that he was expecting, something that maybe Cristiano Ronaldo is never going to be able to experience. And this is something that gave him that status that made him the 8th Ballon d'Oro champion, even though a lot of people discussed and debuted or talk about and debuted and disputed about saying that Erling Haaland deserved it because he had 5 trophies, 50 goals, he won everything with Manchester City. Well, unfortunately, Lionel Messi also had numbers to make him the champion of the Golden Boot, of the Golden Ball. And Ballon d'Oro was actually, Messi was number 8. This is an outstanding amount of record for him. A lot of people said that he got it because it's like a goodbye prize for him for football. Maybe, I don't know, but he still had the numbers to participate and he won the title. And this is something that you have to say and be proud about, that you were live watching this history on the making completely with this mega star player. So he goes to the MLS, but he only plays about 4 games officially with the game in this tournament that they were playing. They were alive in the tournament. They were last place in MLS, but they were alive in the tournament. What do? He takes them and makes them win the championship of this tournament, which is a big status for Inter Miami, because not only that, it brought sold out completely. Inter Miami, you got to understand, Inter Miami was the only club in the MLS who would not sell out and who would not have, how can I say, the season pass holders filled up completely. Well, guess what? Lionel Messi comes inside. He sells out everything in the stadium. The whole season sells out. Everything is on the prize. All the season passes are sold. This actually is what a megastar like Lionel Messi actually does to a club like Inter Miami. So this is very, very, very important about what has gone on in 2023. Now Lionel Messi, unfortunately, he was injured during the season. Inter Miami was actually eliminated from any contention of playoff for the MLS this year. But what is expected for 2024 was expected right now that Lionel Messi will participate back with Inter Miami. Inter Miami, there's rumors already back that he's going to get Luis Suarez. They're going to get more players. They're talking about Sergio Busquets probably also. So it's going to be very interesting to come inside and see that Inter Miami, I think Sergio Busquets is on his team. I'm not sure right now. That's how much I follow Inter Miami this year. I'm sorry. And if he's there, you can leave me in the comments saying, yeah, Sergio Busquets is part of the team. And he might be is. And you know what? If he is already, then it's amazing. It's amazing. But what can I say right now is they're about to do some new acquirements. And what's going to happen is Inter Miami is expected to win it all next season. So that's how much pressure Lionel Messi brings to a club. So that's leaving Lionel Messi. Let's go with CR7. CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo. We know already that he left Real Madrid right after the shirt in this jersey. This was the last World Cup of Clubs that Real Madrid won after that 3 cups repeat from Champions League. We know that 2017 was the last year with Cristiano Ronaldo being in Real Madrid. He left actually from Real Madrid. This is 18 to 19. So Cristiano Ronaldo left to Italy for the Juventus. He went after that to Manchester United, where we saw that Erik ten Hag actually decided to say, I want to be the leader of the group, and Cristiano Ronaldo cannot be with me in the same club. So he forced Cristiano Ronaldo out of the club. Cristiano Ronaldo goes to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, something that it was unexpected, unknown for everybody. Nobody dared to go to the Saudi Arabian League. Everybody thought it was crazy for a player like Cristiano Ronaldo to be able to go to such a low status league. But what Cristiano Ronaldo did in this case was open the doors not only for the league, it elevated the league of level to another notch, but it attracted so many players. And we've seen like Neymar join the league. We've seen Benzema join the league. We see Mane join the league. We see Kante join the league. We see young players like Vieira go out there. We've seen like a lot of young prospects are starting to move out to Saudi Arabia. Not only that this big impact has brought so much money to Saudi at this moment of endorsements and popularity, TV station broadcast, especially all because Cristiano Ronaldo did this. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo this year is doing another incredible achievement, and we know that he's 38 years old. And usually by this time of the age, we know that these players tend to go down and they're dismotivated or already in their downfall completely. Cristiano Ronaldo still looks like he's on top of his game, not only physical, because we know he's a freak in the gym, but he still scores a lot of goals. Yes, a lot of people will tell me right now in my comments, he's playing in the Arabian League. This is a lower quality league. Well, guess what? Messi was playing in French league that is a low quality league right now compared to all the top leagues in Europe. And he still did not achieve the amount of goals that Cristiano Ronaldo is doing. So you got to give props and you got to give credit to this player that is like the young Benjamin Button. He is, no matter how old he is, he's had 2 careers as professional football. Pre-30 years old, post-30 years old. And can you believe that every phase in here, right? The 2 phases that he has, under 30 years old, he had a Hall of Fame career. Hall of Famer. With his numbers right now, if he would have retired at 30 years old, he was Hall of Famer automatically in football. From 30 years old to 38 that he's doing right now, he's had another career with numbers good enough to be Hall of Famer as well. I don't understand where this criticism comes up. We've seen right now, this guy is something else. He's something else in the world. And right now, we got to give him the props. He's finished 2023 with 54 goals. But he's not only scoring in Arabia, we got to believe and talk about also what he's doing with national team. He's scoring goals with national team also. And now people will tell me, well, he's playing against who in national team? Well, guess what? He's playing a national team against these young prospects, these young people, professionals, everything completely, and he's still scoring goals. So therefore, do not take away credit from Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Everybody who knows me knows that I say that Cristiano is the best player I ever seen in my life. A lot of people dispute about this between Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't dispute about it. I do every day in my chat with some of my friends or me. You know that's true. But the reality of the thing and the fact is this guy is amazing. But I've been blessed that my eyes have been able to see these 2 players just evolve from the beginning to the end of their career, because both of them are almost at the end of the career. And God, I know he's going to give me enough years to be able to see these 2 phenomenals finish their careers, and maybe 2 new ones start, or 3 or 4. I don't know. I don't know if they will ever be similar to what these 2 beasts has been, but they'll be great players. And we've seen them right now. We're seeing a Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, Musiala. We've seen a lot of players come up and evolve from their shadows and coming in and trying to take that crown from Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. But we gotta say right now, this has been something else. So much that we're seeing people. The other day, I was actually in wrestling watching with my kids the WWE Holiday Live, and it came out to be that the Street Profits came out, and one of their moves was to do the Sue. Today, I was actually watching the Philadelphia Eagles, and you saw one of the players do the touchdown. It goes like, Sue. So it's amazing what this player does automatically to involve everybody around offside the field and for any sport around. That's how much influence both of these players have done. We've seen the Messi brings all the celebrities to the game. Ronaldo's doing the same thing all over the place. So it's amazing about what these do. I did have to mention what they've done in 2023 because they're still shining. They're still the compensation. They're still leading in anything that they do right now. So it's amazing what they're doing. But now let's talk a little bit about the Premier League, because the Premier League has had an amazing 2023. And we talk about Manchester City. We got to talk about Manchester City right out of the gate, because Manchester City not only won the Champions League, they won 5 trophies this year. You know, we got to understand also, Manchester City won the league right at the last week. They won the Premier League. Arsenal was rolling and expected to win and lift up the trophy. It comes out to be they slipped a little bit, and Manchester City was right there to take it off. So not only that, we have to talk about three huge people that have been part of Manchester City coming inside. We already know that Kevin De Bruyne is an amazing guy for Manchester City, but we got to talk about the two new acquirements or the three new acquirements that Manchester City's had completely. One of them is Rodri from Spain. We know that in Atletico Madrid, Rodri was considered unusable. Pep Guardiola seen that, and he loves the way that he came up. He's had an amazing 2023. We got to talk about Julian Alvarez, which is a kid that was coming from River Plate that a lot of teams overlooked him. He won the World Cup with Argentina, went out on a rampage completely in there. But by that time, that was the new acquisition that Manchester City already acquired and had, and that just gave value for him. And he's been going inside of Manchester City. It wasn't expected because they brought in Erling Haaland, the beast, where everything was rumored that he was going to end up in Real Madrid and ended up in Manchester City. And we know that Erling Haaland was going to take the main position, and Julian Alvarez quietly and a silent assassin. Every time he get an opportunity, he does a job. So much has been 2023 so successful for him that right now he's able to blend with Erling Haaland, and they're actually in the starting lineup together. So that's amazing. And not only that, there's been a growth for Pep Guardiola, because Pep Guardiola also has evolved as a coach. I forgot to say in the Spanish broadcast that I was doing that Pep Guardiola also made a history record this year, and it's because once he won the World Cup of clubs, this is the only coach that has been able to win it with three different clubs. He won it with Bayern Munich, and we won it with Barcelona, and now he won it with Manchester City. So this is a big achievement about this phenomenal young coach, because he's still young. He's going to be a lot of years more in football. I know that a lot of years we've been seeing him. He's been seeing him from years and years and years to come. He's had the best Barcelona in his hands. He's had the phenom of Bayern Munich, even though in Bayern Munich he didn't win as much as they were expecting to win, because this team of Bayern Munich that he inherited was actually came from winning everything completely. So, you know, it was a roller coaster over there for him in Germany. But then he comes to Manchester City and he's taking this team. And yes, he's plugged in a lot of money to this squad, and he's made the owner spend a lot of money, but they have a lot of money. But he's taken this team to be able to be the first team owned by a country or by, you know, petroleum money or sheik money, and made a champion, because everybody thought Paris Saint-Germain was actually going to be the first team to win a Champions League when they made it to that final. But it came out to be that Manchester City is the first to crown itself and lift up the trophy. Now, we know last year, Manchester City had that big, abrupt comeback from Real Madrid over them at the last minute and broke their hearts when they were expected to win the Champions League last season. This season, they came up and they said, no, we're going to acquire a 9. We're going to acquire more goal in the team. And he did that. Erling Haaland did that. He gave 50 goals to this club. And that was more than any player was actually doing. Actually, he was running with all the records in the Premier League. So this is something that is amazing about this club and what they did. And it's unfortunate for Erling Haaland that he wasn't able to win the Ballon d'Oro. I think he did everything in his power to win the Ballon d'Oro, but unfortunately he was running at the last moment, where Lionel Messi just came from a World Cup championship and with numbers good enough to make Ballon d'Oro. So therefore, Lionel Messi inherited that championship. Now let's talk a little bit about one of the heartbrokens in the Premier League that has been really good these past 2 years, but it's been unfortunate for them. And that we're talking about Arsenal. Arsenal, we know the last season or this summer of 2023, right when they were in the last week of the Premier League, boom, they slip. They lose the Premier League title. Now it comes out to be that they've done really good in the Champions League round. They end up in the first in the group and gone to the next round. But it comes out to be that they've had to slip all over again at the end right now in December. This past week, Arsenal does the slip. Boom, Liverpool now is the leader of the Premier League, and Arsenal slips down to the 4th position in the table of Premier League. So this has been very disappointing for them and a heartbreak for them as well. But what can we say? Now, another thing that has been disappointing, what I mean in this part is Chelsea. Chelsea has been a team that has invested about $1 billion. We know that the previous owner, Abramovich, was taken out because of the war of Ukraine with Russia. Abramovich being Russian, being involved with investment on supposedly between terrorist groups and supposedly with the Russian presidency, and this forced him to be actually taken away from the leadership and president of and owner of the Chelsea. This was acquired from North Americans, the boys, brothers, and it came out to be that they spent 400 million immediately when the team came up and they acquired it, and now they spent about 600 million trying to make this team a winning team. Unfortunately, they've not been able to be successful with this. They're in 10th position this year. They were mid-table last year, and it has not looked pretty good for them. Now, we know that the last couple games right now, at the end of the season, Pochettino has found something. They found the victory lane, and they won the last 2 games on them. So that might be the fume or that change that they need for 2024. There's still half a league to go out. They'll probably be better if they continue in the good way. But we know how competitive Premier League is and how difficult it is once you fall in the mid-table to recover to become one of the top teams. So from there, let's talk about what has been the surprise of this year. And what we're talking about is Aston Villa. Aston Villa and West Ham has been 2 of the big surprises. We know that both of those teams were topics to be teams to be in the bottom of the table last season. This season, both of them are in the top 5. Top 6. It's been incredible, especially Aston Villa. Aston Villa has been able to play with all the top teams and has been able to beat most of the top teams completely. So they're right now tied in the first position with Liverpool. This is an incredible achievement about this team. It's something to take their hats off. They're doing their job. They're playing a lot of fun football. There's still a lot of football to go. We'll see exactly how they will end at the end of the season. But 2023, they're tied in the first place right now. So it's incredible what they're doing. And a shout out to Aston Villa fans right now that are listening to this channel. Shout out to you as well. So let's talk about first. Well, I'll give you guys the top 10 of the Premier League right now. We have Liverpool in first position, tied with Aston Villa for 42 points. Liverpool actually is in first position because they have a better goal difference. But then Manchester City follows up with third, tied with Arsenal in 40 points. And then Tottenham and 39 points in the 5th position. West Ham 33. 6th position, Manchester United, 31 points in the 7th position. Brighton with 30 points on the 8th position. Newcastle 29 points on the 9th position, and 10th position is actually Chelsea with 28 points. So, hey, Chelsea fans right now, keep your head high. Try to see if you can evolve right now. Manchester City United fans, pray because Ten Hag right now is with the rope against his throat. And we don't know if he's going to play hangman with him before the season ends. So it's not looking good for Manchester United fans. It's not in the right moment. But hey, they're in the top 7 right now, in the top 10. So it's up for grab, anything completely from there. So now that's been the Premier League. Let's go a little bit about La Liga. In La Liga, we have to talk about, what has been the top 2 squads. And we're talking about Barcelona and Real Madrid. So let's start with Barcelona in this case. And Barcelona, we know Barcelona's been in all the rumors about, paying off the second and of the ref, right? The vice president of the ref association for the past 20 years, something that is overshadowed about that big dynasty that Barcelona was creating for this past 2 decades, pretty much. So it's overshadowed because they're paying more than 8 million euros in the transition about these 20 years right now. But they're still going over it, and the judge has not determined completely a final verdict. But right now, verdicts are not going in favor to Barcelona. We know that Barcelona has been selling most of part of the clubs to be able to sustain and maintain themselves competitive in the league, and it's come out to be that they've even started to build a new stadium to be able to create new revenues. But this is hurt right now, currently Barcelona economically, because they went to Montilivi, which is an additional stadium. The stadium is in a remote location inside Barcelona, in a high ground, not an accessible place to be able to go. So fans has not been so participative. Actually, the season pass holders went to like half. So this is a big loss for Barcelona at this point. However, Barcelona was able to achieve at the beginning phase of this year the Super Cup of Spain in January, and then in the summer they ended up lifting up the Liga, which is a big achievement. Not only that, winning convincingly with a lot of points over their arch enemy of Real Madrid. And we've seen right now that Barcelona has been struggling right now this year with like strikers like Robert Lewandowski, who's not performing goals that they're expected. And they had a lot of injuries like Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Balde, Gavi, they've had, you name it, they've been injured completely. So, Barcelona's going through this phase, and these last couple matches has not been very positive for them. One positive note for Barcelona is that they actually passed to the second round in the Champions League. We know that for the past 2 seasons, they've been relegated to the European League, and from there they've not been able to achieve to lift up that cup. But they've been right now, and they've been on the Champions League, been able to pass first on their group and go to the next round in the second. So this is a big achievement for them. However, the downfall has been the bad achievement in this last couple months right now for Barcelona. They're currently in 4th position in La Liga. So this is not a good way for them to end up 2023, because we saw last December they ended up in 1st place. And that was one of the big moments why they went on to win the league title for that year. So they're not in a great position right now. But then from there, let's talk a little bit about who is leading the league. And we're talking about Real Madrid. And one thing that Real Madrid has been a roller coaster for 2023 for him, because in January, they lose the Super Cup after coming from winning the Champions League, and then they end up winning the Super Cup of clubs, right? Of European Cup. They win the European Cup. It comes out to be that they ended up losing the Champions League. They end up losing La Liga. January was horrible for La Liga, for Real Madrid. We know that for years and years and years, Real Madrid always in January is the worst month. It's the black month for Real Madrid. Team has always been the month where they give up a lot of points or slip and lose a lot of points. And this was not an exception for 2023. They lost a lot of points, and that gave Barcelona enough cushion to be able to run with the Liga and proclaim themselves champions. Now, what Real Madrid confronted was this summer they did acquire a young phenom from the Bundesliga, an English player, Jude Bellingham. This is a 19-year-old that came up to Real Madrid, and he was a big promise. And of course, he comes inside because he came to try to cover up a little bit the failure that Real Madrid has been able to have with a French player called Kylian Mbappe that is unfortunately has been playing around with the name of Real Madrid to be able to fill up his pockets a little bit more on it, or enhance his contracts with Paris Saint-Germain. So this summer, Julian Bellingham comes inside, and he comes as a young promise. And guess what? He has been phenomenal for Real Madrid. He has acquired 16 games, 15 goals. He's done 4 assists. He's done numbers that only Cristiano Ronaldo has been able to do at the beginning of his career with Real Madrid. And we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo is a striker and Bellingham is a midfielder. So we have to keep that in mind. This is impressive about what he's done right now for Real Madrid. And he's on record pace right now for Real Madrid. So he's given, and he's been a big contribution why Real Madrid is currently in the leading position. But we have to talk about a little bit more about something that has occurred with Real Madrid, because we know Real Madrid lost Thibaut Courtois and Eder Militao in the preseason, or at the beginning of the season of this 2023 right now, coming in for 2024. They lost them for the rest of the season. They broke their ligaments on their knee, therefore requiring surgery. That's out for the season. Now, during this period, they lost David Alaba also the same way. Another player that is off for the season. So by that, Real Madrid at one point had 9 to 10 players in the infirmary, right, and the IR. And this is really, really unheard of for Real Madrid. So you have to give props how this team is able to continue and finish the Champions League undefeated, and currently right now and leading La Tabla of La Liga through all these obstacles. And we're not talking about bench players. We're talking about main players come inside. Like I mentioned, Courtois, Militao, David Alaba, Ferland Mendy. We talk about Carvajal. We're talking about, Lucas Vasquez. We're talking about Luka Modric. We're talking about, Dani Ceballos. We're talking about Vinicius Jr. We're talking about, there's tons of players that has been in the injury list that has not been able to help. And of course, Real Madrid also acquired this young phenom from Turkey. They call him the Turkish Messi, and it's Arda Güler, and he has not been able to debut with Real Madrid. So we will see him in 2024 and see exactly if he can come up to be that young prospect and star that everybody had think that he could be. But it comes out to be that Real Madrid has had a lot of obstacles. Some of the things is we've seen already Manchester United complaining that because of their injuries, they've not been able to be leading the league or been more competitive, and they're currently in the 7th position. Well, Real Madrid has been more injuries than Manchester United and is currently in 1st position. So that tells you a little bit about how things has gone with the club. And because of all this injury, what has gone up? Well, we have Brahim Diaz, who's woken up completely. We all know Brahim Diaz and Inter Milan and AC Milan was actually doing a phenomenal job and everything. But this year, he came into the club and he will play the same position as Jude Bellingham. Therefore, it was very difficult for Carlo Ancelotti to decide between both players or give time to Brahim Diaz. But Brahim Diaz, because of all this injury, has perhaps started to play different position that maybe is not his comfortable position, but he's played different position and has made it excel. He scored goals. He's happy. He injects that energy that the club needs, and he's been a big factor of the club overcoming some of these difficult games in this year. So he's been a big part of earning his spot in the club, and Carlo Ancelotti has also been key about what has been going to keep all these players injected and motivated, and not only because they're in the bench, they would not come out and perform. Every single player has come out to the field and they perform. But Carlo Ancelotti is now that we're mentioning Carlo Ancelotti is a huge factor why Real Madrid is so successful this year. Not only in the press, he's able to juggle with all the press interviews and speaking for the club during all the most difficult moments that the club has come up to also. But he's been able to handle also by bringing and changing the formation from 4-3-3, that is the typical formation that Real Madrid has always had for years and years and years, and changing it to a 4-4-2 due to the injuries that he had with Eder Militao and Thibaut Courtois. And they've been able to surpass, and not only that, they made Jude Bellingham come inside and play as the mid striker, and he's been phenomenal. So Jude Bellingham has finally found a position that he excels in. And this has changed everything. This changes everything completely, because then you have a Joselu who comes inside of Real Madrid when Benzema left, when Mariano Diaz left, when you have another striker that left from Real Madrid, and then Joselu comes inside in Real Madrid, and he's loaned from Espanyol, that Espanyol unfortunately relegated to the 2nd division, and he gave Real Madrid as a loan Joselu, and Joselu comes inside and excels in this team. So it comes out to be that they're making goals and they're making things. Every player is participating. That's all thanks to Ancelotti. Now, we know that Ancelotti was not ending the last season in their best way completely. As I mentioned to you, it was losing a lot of points in La Liga, didn't finish the Champions League, and was able to only crown itself as La Copa King champion. And this actually, in any other time, would have cost the head of a coach. But that's why Brazil national team was supposedly expecting that Ancelotti was going to join them in the summer. But Ancelotti did not join them in the summer. He said, I will conclude my contract and then we'll talk about maybe me joining the Brazilian national team. Now, rumors have gone so much after the president of the nation has spoken, the president of the association has spoken. All the press is always confirming that Ancelotti was saying yes to go and join the national team of Brazil. Real Madrid did something that they've not done ever. And it's renew a contract of a coach mid of a season. We know Real Madrid has always been strict to not pay attention to any renewal of contract of any coach until the end of the season, because Real Madrid has always been that strict that if the coach doesn't perform, coach gotta go. That has always been, because Real Madrid has always been the high expectation. So having that said right now, it's big what has been occurred. And Carlo Ancelotti not only has renewed with Real Madrid, but extended his contract until 2026. This is actually to shut down all the noise and all the rumors about Carlo Ancelotti coming inside. Now, does this mean that if Carlo Ancelotti doesn't perform in 2024 at the beginning, he will not be kicked out of Real Madrid? No, that does not mean that. Carlo Ancelotti knows that it doesn't matter how long your contract is. If you don't perform, you're out of the team. So Carlo Ancelotti with this only assures that he knows he has a contract, so it motivates him to not worry about looking for something else. And this shuts up completely all the rumors about his possibility leaving Real Madrid team. So this is amazing for Real Madrid. This has been something that is very, very, very positive of the team. the team actually finished up in the league 2023 as leaders, something that did not occur last year. So maybe this year we'll see how 2024 receive Real Madrid. But right now, Real Madrid undefeated on the first phase of the Champions League, looking good in La Liga right now, looking at top. All the players being young, growing up and mixing up with some of the old folks like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric coming inside, and they're showing off their skills and learning from these from these older players. And it comes out to be that it doesn't matter what obstacle Real Madrid is having, they're being able to surpass it. So that has been very positive. And as I did with the Premier League, I will give you the top 10 right now in La Liga currently until December 31st, 2023. And that's Real Madrid with Girona in the first place. Now, mentioning Girona, I can't leave the show without mentioning how big this is. Girona was actually last season a team that was actually going to relegate from La Liga. They come inside, they were competing, they were doing all these things. Comes out to be they come this year, Mitchell comes up, puts some motivation, injects the money through the owners of Manchester City, right? Which is the same owners of Manchester City, the Saudi Arabian sheiks. It injects the money to come inside for Girona. They get the right players that come inside, move the club. This club is competing for everything. They would have led La Liga ending December if they didn't have that little tie this past week. And it came out to be that little slip cost them being the leaders of the league. It gives Real Madrid the leadership, but they're tied in point with Real Madrid. Now we know on the difference of goal, well, there's always a leader because of that, and that's why Real Madrid is leading the league this year. So if the league finished today, Real Madrid would have been champion. So it comes out to be that nothing has happened. The second part of the season is going to come up, but it's impressive to see a team like Girona that has never been there fighting for the title. And who knows, maybe they do a Leicester from the Premier League years ago that came up from nowhere and surprised and won the Premier League. Maybe Girona this year is able to capitalize and lift up the trophy for La Liga, but we'll see because there's still half of the season left. So having that said, right now we're only 18 games down the field. We still got 18 more to go, but it comes out to be that they're with 45 points tied with Real Madrid in the leadership of La Liga. Atletico Madrid tied with Barcelona in third place. It comes out to be that is 38 points, and then Atletico Bilbao in the fifth position with 35, Real Sociedad in 31 points for the sixth position, Real Betis with 28 points on seventh position, Getafe with 26, La Palma with 25th on the ninth position, and then Valencia ends up in the top 10 with the 23 points in the park. So you're seeing right now from 10th to 1st, it's very, very open. Real Madrid and Girona right now doubles the amount of points from the top 10. So it tells you right now how good the top 3 or the top 5 has been doing right now. Anybody can take it still, but they're way ahead of everybody else in La Liga. So that's the top 10 of La Liga. Let's talk a little bit about the top 10 of Italian League. And in Italian League right now, currently we see Inter Milan in first place with 45 points. La Juventus with 43 points in the second position. AC Milan with 36 position in the third position. Fiorentina with 33 points in the fourth position. Bologna in the fifth position with 31 points. Atalanta, sixth position with 29. La Roma of Mourinho with 28 points in the seventh position. Napoli, the former champion of the Calcio League, is in the eighth position this year with 28 points. La Lazio still alive in the Champions League and giving part. He's in the ninth position in La Liga of the Calcio League and 25 points. And Torino is actually in the 10th position with 24 points. This is another league that also the first place doubles up the amount of points from the 10th position. So that tells you how the Calcio League is actually going. We see Naples very, very, very down on the table compared to what they were last year, coming from championship of Calcio League to right now being in 8th position. But that's very difficult for them to come up. La Lazio, as I mentioned right now, they're still alive in the Champions League. We'll see them playing. They're focusing to try to see if they can qualify for Champions League next year to be in the top 5 in La Calcio League. But at the reality comes out to be that right now they're still participating in Champions League, and how they can guarantee the next step will be winning the Champions League, which is very difficult, but at the same time, they're still competing. Now, from there, let's talk about La Bundesliga. In La Bundesliga, we will talk about the top 10 because La Bundesliga, things have been going on. But Bayer Leverkusen is actually first place with 42 points. Bayern de Munich with 38 points in the second position. Stuttgart in the third position with 34 points. Leipzig of Red Bull actually with 33 points on the fourth position. Borussia Dortmund BVB is actually in the 5th position with 27 points. Frankfurt is tied with Hoffenheim and the 6th and 7th position with 24 points. And Freiburg also as well with the 8th position, 24 points. Heidenheim is actually with 20 points on the 9th position, and Wolfsburg is actually with 19 points on the 10th position. This is another league that it doubles up the parts from the first to the 10th position. So all the 4 leagues that I've been telling you, the 10th position is actually double the points on the bottom of the leader. So one of the important things that is going on in the Bundesliga is actually the leadership of Bayer Leverkusen. What is important about Bayer Leverkusen? A lot of things. Bayer Leverkusen was actually acquired by Xabi Alonso as the head coach. The team was actually almost at the point on the bottom of the table, fighting to not be relegated from La Bundesliga. And it comes out to be is actually undefeated. It's the only team left undefeated of all the major leagues in European part. It's the only team undefeated, and it's been earning its place little by little. They're making noise, and they're currently going strong on first position, leading by 4 points already ahead of Bayern Munich, which we know that Bayern Munich has been always like the top contender for this league. So it's very important now in the Bundesliga, and we'll see how it ends. And if Xabi Alonso will be able to crown a city like Bayer Leverkusen or a club like Bayer Leverkusen to become once again champion. But one thing that has been said is that the crowd and the fans have been loving it this year with them. But anyway, that is the news that I have today for the 23rd, for the 2023. But right now, thanks to every single person that has subscribed to this channel, every person who's been from the get-go. We know that this program has been for 1 year already operating. I've been trying to give almost everyday news about what's going on. And as I said at the beginning, this program has been developed mostly for all you non-Spanish speaking people that actually wants to know a little bit more about the Liga. But I promise that I will cover a little bit difference also from different leagues this year. 2024 is going to be a lot better. It's going to be better created. This show is going to be more participative. This show is going to be part of here. Who knows? Maybe you can be chatting with me and going live in some of the shows and participating with me, giving, questions, participating, giving you ideas about what's going on. What do you think about this league? What do you think about this team? But I try to get you guys all the news that it comes out community that unfortunately the dark agenda from these TV medias in the United States and anywhere around the world is trying to just cover up and only get the information that they think is going to be most popular for them. I don't try to go for the popularity. I try to go with whatever news is going on, and I try to cover it and show it to you guys. There's a lot of information that goes on every single day, and I tried. This is not my main income because I don't earn anything from YouTube. I'm working for free on YouTube, but this is fun times for me. This is actually something that has been very fun for me. This has been an excitement. This is a dream come true for me because I wanted to always do something and express and share part with people. So that's why I always appreciate when you guys comment and you guys give me your part of the verse. If you stand all the way to the end of the show, thank you. Be safe right now in 2023. I hope you roll strong. 2024 is going to be amazing. We're going to go with a lot of news, a lot of things, and it's very active in 2024. It's going to be better than 2023. Well, our 1 year anniversary, there's been congratulations for everybody right here. But at the same time, I want to wish you guys happy new year. I hope 2024 fulfills everything you're expecting or all your goals that you've been proposing to yourself. But it's been exciting for me as well. Everybody right now synchronizing with me and being on the show, thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to the shows, please subscribe, hit that like button, and share this program with everybody. There's football that's going to come out. 2024 is going to be amazing. So I want to stand to you guys and thank once again, and I'll see you. Vamos! Let's go! Ciao!